Okay, it's going.
You right?
Yeah.
Charlie Sago's Adventures on YouTube. I'm just going to talk about this transmission coolant first off, and then I'll go on to the motor and the Subaru and all the parts I've got here. But I purchased this PWR cooling system for your transmission for a four-wheel drive. Unfortunately, it let go. I don't know if you can see that red marks there or not, but it let go right there. And I took it back down to the shop, and they wouldn't give me any warranty on it, so I just said no worries. But I noticed there's a crack in the corner there, and it wasn't there when I sent it down to the place where I purchased it. They must have had a bit of a pull on that, and she just let go. But this whole thing here is all weak. For me to break that, I'd have to bend that whole knob, would have to be bent right over, and something terrible, and it's not. It's still there. All you got to do is just put your hoses in hot water, and with a bit of exertion, just slide them on and put your clamps in. This one's fine, but that one let go, so it's pretty easy to do. I've done quite a few of them. So I'll send that back and see if I can get warranty on it, and I'll let you know if I get warranty or not. And we'll talk about, let me know the comments if you've had things where you sent warranty back and you didn't receive it for some strange reason or other. I'd be interested to hear what products that you've sent back and didn't get warranty on it. I'm going to go on now to the motor. This motor, it had a swell mark just there. It was around about 5 thou out in the centre there. And I finally got it sent to a machine shop, and had all it ground down and done all the block up, all machined, and it come back very nice along with the block. I got the block done up, and it's all nice and done, neat, all machined, ready to go on for the gasket to go on, as you can see there now. Beautifully done. Now all I've got to do is put the head gaskets back onto that and put it all back together. Now when I brought this car home from Brisbane, it had a busted head gasket, bad, and so we put some K-Seal in it to try and get me home 1,000 Ks, and I thought if K-Seal works and gets me home 1,000 Ks, every car should have it in their glove box. And I did do a video on that. I think it's on YouTube. Did K-Seal work? For me, unfortunately, no, it didn't. From my point of view, it was a waste of money, because after about an hour, I put one container in, and then after about an hour's travelling, I put another container in, and it just didn't do any good whatsoever. Every hour I had to pull up and refill the radiator up to stop it from boiling. I had a temperature gauge on my motor, so it tells me the actual temperature gauge of the motor besides the temperature gauge on my car. So K-Seal, no, it didn't work for me. It may work for you, it might have worked for others, but I'm just telling you what happened to me when I tried to get this motor car home. Head gaskets have got to go on that one very shortly, could possibly today. But is Subaru, if you just want to come up here, Subaru, they say they're a very easy car to work on. Well, when you look at the heads and everything else that you've got to do, and all this stuff that you've got to put back on again, you have to take it all off, and then you've got to have some idea of how to put it back on again. No, it's not an easy car in my point of view. There's just so many sensors and everything on them that you've got to pull off, redo it, and you've got to take the motor out to do the head gaskets. That's another talk I was going to have a talk about. A lot of blokes on YouTube say their head gaskets blew out on again, and I see that they do their head gaskets in the car. For me, it's not a good idea, and the reason it's not a good idea is the example on that one. It was out 6 thou in the centre, 5 to 6 thou. Well, if you put your new head gaskets on, even though you got new, the heads have been machined, you put your heads back on that vehicle, on that motor, with it out about 5 or 6 thou in the middle, and they do come down. The ends will swell up, and the centre just seems to, for some reason, gets a swell in it. It's gonna go again. It has to go again, because it's out about 5 or 6 thou in the middle. The gasket can't seal it up properly. So not my idea of doing them in a car. I wouldn't do it in a car. I take it out. And like I said, when you take it out, this is why the mechanics in Dubbo, you could be looking at anywhere 6, 7, depending on how much money they want to charge you, because a lot of the mechanics don't like doing Subarus, for the very reason is that this is what they've got to do. And the other reason is that mechanics don't like doing Subarus is because when they do them, down the track, the guy comes back in and says that motor's gone again. And the reason it's gone is because Subaru still sell these crappy head gaskets. Now, I don't know if you can actually see this on YouTube or on a video or not. All this coating has all gone off. It's all gone. It's finished. It's a single layer head gasket. Now, I know Mr. Subaru says head gaskets are a thing of the past. Well, no, they're not. And I'm saying that I'm not going against what he says. He's a brilliant mechanic and I love him. I watch him all the time. I think he's an absolutely fantastic bloke. But when they sell head gaskets like this to put on your Subaru, it's not going to last, and it's given Subaru a bad name. So when you take your car into the Subaru dealership, this is what he's going to put on. Well, what you should be putting on, if I can find what I've done with it now, I'm putting, let me get this one. This is a 6-star multi-layer. Now I've heard that they go 2 at times, but the reason they may go is because they've done them in the car and they haven't got the block machined. And you've got to get that block machined if it's out. It may not be out, but 9 times out of 10 you'll find that there'll be some sort of gap under that block. But I'm doing a 6-star, and hopefully it's going. I've got really good reports about this. I know Mr. Subaru said there's a gasket out that Subaru uses that cures the problem of head gaskets in Subarus. I tried to find it. I could not find anything on from 2000 to 2004. They just don't have it. The only thing I could get was 6-star. Either Felpro and 6-star. Felpro are good head gaskets. A lot of blokes use them too. But once again, I'll say, if you get the machining right, and I know Mr. Subaru says a lot of the problems with people putting head gaskets on is they don't do it properly. They get the block and they might put over a bit of seam paper, or they might put whatever on it, and they don't do it properly. And that is the case too. If you can have the best head gaskets, but if you don't get the block and the heads done properly, it's going to leak. So get some good head gaskets. Don't go and get the ones out of Subaru, because I'll give you those from 2000 to 2004. They don't seem to have the proper head gaskets. I'll give you these crappy ones. So that is that. Now, if you'd like to come up here. As you can see, there's a terrible lot of stuff I've got to put back on. And I've had a lot of trouble trying to find somebody who does the blocks. I had a bloke do the heads, but I chased around for about 6 or 7 weeks trying to find a bloke in Dubbo, and I had to go to Orange to get it done. And there's a great bloke over there who does them. He's done a good job. Now the motor's going to go back in here. The vehicle, why I'm staying with the vehicle, my son gave me this. He rebuilt it right up. And unfortunately, as I said in another video, we got a hole in the radiator and we didn't see it because the floods were on and we had about a foot of water laying around everywhere. We cooked the motor and buggered it, and the head gaskets just blew. It wasn't the fault of the head gaskets, it was just our fault for not seeing that the radiator had a hole in it. Now I'm going to put that back in, and once I do this is going to be a good little car. Now the reason why you see a lot of these cars out at the wreckers is basically because it costs so much to get them repaired for head gaskets. It may cost $6,000 or $7,000 just to get a head gasket on it, because they've got to take the motor out. And as you can see, all the stuff they've got to do, that's time consuming for a mechanic. And a lot of mechanics don't want to do it, because when they do it, it comes back in with a blown head gasket again, because the Subaru are selling these crappy bloody head gaskets. And they don't want to do it because it's just too much of a headache, and it takes too long, and it's too difficult. Well, not difficult, but it's just, yeah, they don't want to do it. And they end up at the wreckers, and the car inside, in the interior in this is really good. It's really nice. The outside of the car is in good shape. There's not one bit of rust in the whole car whatsoever, not an ounce of rust. Beautiful car to drive on the road. Very good vision, as you can see, all round. But it's a shame to see cars like this just go to the scrap and be pulled apart or made into scrap metal, when all it needs is a head gaskets, and that's why they go in, because the head gaskets are blown. To pay $7,000 or whatever it is to have the head gaskets done, it's not feasible for them. They can go put that money on another new car, and they prefer to do that and get rid of the other one to the wreckers. And that's what happens with Subarus. And those head gaskets that you get that are no good are giving Subarus a bad name. So with that, I'm going to leave it at that. No, K-Seal didn't work. It didn't work for me, but I did get the vehicle home. What took me, usually takes me about 11 hours, took me 20 plus hours to come home, but I eventually got the car home, and now we're doing the block up because the car is a good car and I don't want to see it just go to the scrap heap, because it's all been redone up, all new bearings, all new, everything's been done all new, and new tyres, new CV joints, and that motor had new rings and everything put in it, the whole lot. So it's worth redoing back up again. If you can do it yourself, and you find a car like this that's got a head gasket going on it, and you can put the head gaskets on it, you can save yourself quite a money, because the car's only worth, once the head gasket goes on a 2003, 4, 5 or 6, it's only worth about $400 or $500, if that. That records will only give you $300 or $400 for it. That's it, final. So you can get your hands on it, you can put the head gaskets on, you can make yourself a really nice car. So this is Charlie Sago saying bye for now. I'll catch you later. I know I haven't done any videos for a long time, but we've had fires, floods and all the rest of it, and I had bad health, so I haven't had a chance to get back to you. Okay, with that we'll say